Operator, can you hear me?
I can hear you well, indeed. Indeed.
Perfect. All right, we're ready to get started. I'll hand it off to you for the intro.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as I said, I'm going to transfer us. There will be a short burst of music, which I'm going to mute. I will make my short introduction and hand over to you, Tessa. Okay?
Sounds good.
Let's go then. Okay, let's go. Hello and welcome to the 2023 Crop Insurance Program Announcement Conference Call. Please note this call is being recorded, and for the duration of the call, your lines will be on listen only. However, you will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the call. This can be done by pressing star 1 on your telephone keypad. To register your question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you require assistance at any point, please press star 0 and you will be connected to an operator. I will now hand you over to your host, Tessa Krovchek, to begin today's conference. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Once again, welcome to the 2023 Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Program announcement here from SCIC's head office in Melville. Today, Saskatchewan Agricultural Minister David Marit will be providing details of the 2023 crop insurance program for Saskatchewan producers. This will be followed by a question and answer period with the media. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the province of Saskatchewan is located on treaties 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10, and is the traditional territory of the Cree, Saulteaux, Assiniboine, Dene, and homeland of the Métis. Since we are in Melville, on Treaty 4 territory, I will first begin with acknowledging the land we are on. The Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation acknowledges, respects, and has the honor of working on lands in Treaty 4 territory, a treaty that was first negotiated and entered in 1874 in Fort Qu'Appelle. It is important to recognize the land on which we are gathered is the traditional and ancestral land of the Cree, Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and homeland of the Métis people. We respect and honor the treaties that were made on all territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we are committed to move forward in partnership with Indigenous nations in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. This 2023 crop insurance program announcement is also being live streamed to provide additional access to media and Saskatchewan producers to the program details for the upcoming growing season. For media viewing the live stream, you can submit questions using media.inquiries@scic.ca. You can also access through the teleconference system, and those details were provided during Friday's media advisory. I will be monitoring the questions submitted. For media submitting questions, please indicate your name, media outlet, and I will relay the questions to the minister once we get to the question and answer period. As usual, we'll also be taking questions from the media in room and on the phone line. Also, a news release is now available on the Government of Saskatchewan's website and will be shortly available on the SCIC's website as well. I will now turn things over to Saskatchewan's Agricultural Minister, David Marit.
Thank you, Tessa. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Premier Moe and the Government of Saskatchewan, I'm happy to be here today at the Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation head office in Melville to share the 2023 Crop Insurance Program announcement. Joining me is Jeff Morrow, Acting President and CEO of Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation. I also like to acknowledge our industry guests joining in the room. Ray Orb, President of Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities. Joining me on the call is Keith Fournier, Chair of Saskatchewan Canola, Trent Richards, Chair of Saskatchewan Pulse Growers, and Brett Halstead, Chair of Saskatchewan Wheat Development Commission. Also in the room with me is my colleague Warren Keating, the MLA from Melville Sulcoats. We work closely with industry groups throughout the year, and we appreciate you all taking the time to join us here today. For over 60 years, Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation continues to support our producers with a full suite of business risk management programs. We provide coverage producers can count on, and that's why the crop insurance team continuously works with industry to ensure we are meeting the needs of producers across the province. Before I begin speaking on the enhancements for the 2023 crop insurance program, I'd like first to acknowledge the investment of the federal, provincial, and territorial governments as we work together to strengthen and grow Canada's agriculture sector. Through this partnership, governments seek to improve business risk management programs to enhance Canada's economic stability. And that is why I'm proud to talk about the crop insurance program here today. I'm proud of the support the government prioritized for agriculture and will continue to prioritize each year. As there is 1 year lag when calculating crop insurance premium rates, the 2021 production is now used for this year's 2023 premiums, and there was a large number of claims in 2021. However, as we see less of an impact on 2023 premium rates due to advances in our industry and modern farming practices. I'm very proud of the farmers and ranchers here in our province and how we have adopted to new technology. Saskatchewan producers are always innovating to become more productive and sustainable. Each year, more producers are utilizing modern farming practices and exploring new technology-enhanced equipment and operational tools. Saskatchewan is leading the way in modern agriculture, and these advancements are helping mitigate risk, allowing our farmers and ranchers to be more resilient. As we look forward to the 2023 growing season, I want to acknowledge the drive and resilience Saskatchewan farmers and ranchers continue to show year after year. In 2022, Saskatchewan producers insured over 35.6 million acres through crop insurance, over 80% of the total acres seeded in this province. It is now more important than ever for farmers and ranchers to evaluate their current insurance and ensure they have the right coverage for their operation. I want to reassure our producers the Crop Insurance Fund is strong and will continue to support Saskatchewan producers by paying all eligible claims. Since 2013, Saskatchewan Crop Insurance has purchased private insurance. This is an important risk mitigation tool which helps stabilize premium rates. This year, crop insurance coverage will reach a record level due to higher commodity prices and increased yield coverage. The average coverage for 2023 is $446 per acre, an increase from $405 an acre in 2022. Due to this increased coverage and higher insured prices, the average total premium for 2023 is $14.79 per acre, an increase from the average of $12.05 per acre in 2022. I now want to talk about this opportunity to speak to the changes taking effect this year from the crop insurance program. The most significant change is a new way of individualizing premiums for each producer. Starting in 2023, crop insurance now calculates an individual premium based on each customer's personal claim history compared to their area risk zone. SCIC calculates a base premium annually for each crop in each risk zone. With individual premium, the premium adjustment is an increase or decrease from the base premium is calculated individually for each crop a customer insures. This individual premium is unique to each farm and is calculated independently for each crop. This means a producer's claim on one crop does not impact their premium for a different crop. Producers will see these individual premiums be more reflective of what they are experiencing on their own farm. Staff began sharing information about these changes with producers in the fall of 2022. So I encourage producers to contact their local crop insurance office to have a conversation about individual premium and the impacts on their farm. Another change for 2023 crop insurance program is increasing the maximum coverage for unceded acreage feature. While the minimum coverage level remains the same at $50 per acre, additional unceded acreage coverage levels are increasing to $75 per acre, $100 per acre, and $125 per acre. The farmer can select their own coverage. Unceded acreage coverage is in place to compensate producers for costs associated with acres too wet to seed in the current year and getting those acres back in condition to seed for the following year. I encourage Saskatchewan producers to reach out to their local crop insurance office and have a conversation about the insurance options available for their farm. March 31st is the deadline to apply, reinstate, cancel, or make changes for crop insurance contracts. Over the next week, producers can expect to receive their crop insurance coverage information in the mail. We recommend producers review these packages. If no changes are made, a producer's coverage selection will remain the same as last year. To help make the most informed decision, producers can contact their local office to speak to a member of the crop insurance team and discuss creating a custom-fit insurance plan for their farming operation. In addition to crop insurance, SCIC also administers the Ag Stability Program, the Livestock Price Insurance Program, and the Wildlife Damage Compensation and Prevention Program to help mitigate risk for Saskatchewan producers. While crop insurance provides coverage for seeding through harvest, Ag Stability provides further coverage against uncontrolled events like rising input costs or falling commodity prices. Effective for the 2023 program year, the Ag Stability compensation rate is increasing from 70% to 80%. I encourage producers to look at this. This is something that industry has asked for, and we have delivered. Enrolling in Ag Stability is as simple as calling the Ag Stability call center and requesting a new participant package. The deadline to enroll in 2023 Ag Stability program is April 30th. Since Ag Stability considers the impact to the whole farm, this includes all livestock and all commodities. The program offers margin risk protection over the course of the entire year, which, for livestock producers, can include coverage for rising input costs, such as increased costs for feed. In addition to Ag Stability, SCIC's full suite of business risk management programs includes features and options available specifically for livestock producers. Within the crop insurance program, there is coverage for forage for seed, sale, or feed. Insurable forage acres include tame hay, dehydrated alfalfa, sweet clover, and green feed, and producers can select options such as establishment, restoration, and diversification coverage. In addition, weather-based coverage is also available for forage acres. Specifically for forage rainfall insurance program is available on all native and tame hay or grazing acres, protecting pasture land in the event of seasonal precipitation below the long-term average. And given the recent dry growing conditions, we see the forage rainfall insurance program responding, paying out over $94 million in claim payments over the last 2 years. Specifically, due to the widespread drought in 2021, the forage rainfall program paid producers approximately 48% of selected coverage. I encourage all livestock producers to have a conversation with your local office to discuss the crop insurance options best suited for your operation. And another option most specifically for livestock producers is livestock price insurance. SCIC administers a livestock price insurance program, often known by producers as LPI. LPI is a risk management program where producers can purchase price protection on livestock in the form of an insurance policy, providing protection against unexpected price drops over a defined period of time. Producers can insure under the calf, fed, feeder, or hog price insurance options. Since February 1st, producers can once again begin purchasing calf price insurance policies. The deadline to purchase calf policies is June 8th, 2023. The fed, feeder, and hog price insurance options are available to purchase year-round. Producers can purchase a policy through the Livestock Price Insurance Program by contacting Saskatchewan Crop Insurance or visiting the website lpi.c/a. Weekly premium tables are available every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to help producers make informed purchasing decisions. Producers can select from a variety of livestock price insurance coverage options. SCIC also administers the Wildlife Damage Program for Saskatchewan producers. Producers who experience a loss or damage to crops, stacked forage, or livestock due to wildlife may be eligible for compensation. Funding is also available to producers for prevention measures taken to limit or reduce wildlife damage to crops, feed supplies, and livestock. Saskatchewan crop insurance staff will work with producers to individually assess the situation and discuss prevention options. The Wildlife Damage Compensation and Prevention Program is available to all Saskatchewan producers. If you spot wildlife damage, please contact SCIC as soon as possible to register a claim. All these insurance options I mentioned today can be part of a proactive risk management plan for Saskatchewan producers. To optimize crop insurance coverage, I encourage producers to consider different coverage levels and additional programs to meet their needs. Please take some time to review your farm's insurance plan on a yearly basis and reach out if you have any questions. The Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation has representatives at 21 office locations right across the province. Plus, there's a lot of information available on the website scic.c/a. As we prepare for the fall farming season ahead, I also want to acknowledge the importance of caring for our physical and mental health, on and off the farm. Farm safety is extremely important, and that's not just wearing protective gear and operating equipment safely. A large part of being safe on the farm is taking an active role in monitoring mental health and assessing supports. Producers face a number of factors that are out of their control, many of which can have a negative impact on mental health. I want to remind producers there are resources available, including the Farm Stress Line at 1-800-667-4442. Counselors are available 24 hours, 7 days a week, providing support to producers and their loved ones. Once again, on behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan, I want to thank you for your time here today. I'll now ask to move into questions and answers of this meeting. I'll now turn it back to Tessa, and she will moderate the session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Minister. I'll first hand it over to our operator on the line, and you can run through the formality of the details for those on the call today.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. To withdraw your question, please press star 2.
Perfect. To give those on the line time to queue up, as there is a lag with the live stream, I will pull from media here in room first, as well as I do have a few questions already queued up here through our inbox that we'll run through, and then I'll move back to the operator on the call. Any questions from those in room? If you do, I do ask that you use the mic just so that those on the line can also hear you. Perfect. Then I am going to start off here. We do have some questions here from Neil Billinger of CJWW. The first one here is he's also just looking for some of those list of insured prices for some of the various crops, and if possible, a basic comparison from this year to last year, some of the higher and lowers.
I'll ask Jeff to answer that.
Thanks for the question, Neil. I'm just going to get my table of insured prices. I'd say overall, we are seeing an increase in the insured prices year over year. It's about 7.2% increase in prices on average from the 2023 prices over 2022. And maybe just a couple of highlights. For hard red spring wheat, for example, the insured price for 2023 is $10.21 per bushel. Last year it was $8.71. For canola, $18.83 per bushel. Last year $17.01. And I'll look at a pulse crop, large green lentils, 40 cents a pound for 2023 versus 36 cents for last year. So just to give you an indication, but overall, as I said, on average, 7.2% increase in prices.
I do have a few more questions here from Neil. These ones are about individual premium. He's wondering how difficult it was to move to the new individual premium from a technical aspect, and if there were any changes required from any of the computer software pieces. As well as there's a follow-up question around, do farmers need to wait until they receive their crop insurance packages in the mail before learning some of these 2023 details for their operation, or is the information readily available now, and also if there's an ETN when packages do go in the mail?
So first on the individual premium, as the minister said, it is a individual premium that is calculated for each crop that a producer grows and insures. So there was changes that were required to our system to make sure that those calculations were accurate for all those crops that each producer insures. As far as the when information is available, producers don't have to wait till they get to the package in the mail. We do expect that in the next week that they will have that information, but they can call our offices to talk about their insurance options and the coverage and the premium that's available starting later today or tomorrow.
There is one more question here from Neil, and it's again just kind of the roundtable call around. But I will kick it off here now, and then that'll transition us into the phone. But Ray, I'll start with you. He's just looking for some general reaction and comments from each of our producer groups on the line here today.
No, certainly. You know what? We're pleased about the announcements. We realize that there is a lot of risk out there. You know, producers are looking at still pretty high input prices, costs. You know, down the road especially. Some good prices out there, and I know crop insurance has captured some good prices. So I think the protection and the kind of the ongoing commitment, I think, of Saskatchewan agriculture is there, and we're pleased about that. We're also pleased about some of the other programs, you know. And Minister Marit mentioned wildlife damage. We're having a lot of reports about deer and elk being in haystacks right now, and as well as being out in some of the fields. And also the wild boar program, you know, we still get reports about those, and I know that crop insurance is following up on those. So generally, we're pretty pleased about all the changes that are mentioned here. We're not quite sure yet about the individual premium coverage change, how that actually will take place. I think that depends on individual producers and when they open their packages, and I know they can obviously get information ahead of time. So with the idea that there'll be no more, I think, than a $5 premium increase, I think generally that change should be fairly muted. So I think just going on to say that we're always pleased when crop insurance looks at changing some of the programs. Agri-stability, obviously a good change, something that SARM had been lobbying for quite some time to go to the 80%, and I think some of the margin reference, the caps are actually taken off too, which I think really good changes for producers. So all in all, a pretty good package and kind of a good way to start off this crop year.
Thanks, Ray. Operator, if I can get you on the line to queue up Trent Richards.
Of course. Sure. The first question comes from the line of Jim Smiley, calling from CKRN Radio. Regina, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I would ask if my numbers are correct. The average coverage rises 10.1% and premiums rise 22.73%. And the reasons behind these two numbers, why coverage rising, why premiums rising.
Yeah, I think your numbers are correct there, Jim. And the coverage increase is driven almost exclusively by those commodity price increases. That's 7.2% on average. And so that has an impact on the premium cost as well, because as coverage goes up, so does the premium cost per acre. But also, as the minister mentioned, we are bringing in 2021 loss experience. So in 2021, we paid out $2.5 billion. So that loss experience is coming in to impact premium rates. And as the minister also said, it's not a significant impact, driven in large part by the advancements that producers are doing on their farms to mitigate their own risk.
Want to make sure that's Jeff Morrow speaking?
Yes, sorry, Jim. Yes, Jeff Morrow.
Good. No problem, Jeff. Just had to make sure. And then, of course, I'd like a reaction from the other people that you've got, Keith Fournier, Trent Richards, and Brett Halstead. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim. Operator, are you able to pull directly Trent, Brent, or Keith through the line?
At the moment, we've got Karen Breer calling from Western Producer. Please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I just wondered specifically about, a decision to increase the unceded acreage program when it's too wet to seed, when recently our biggest problem has been drought. Why no enhancements to the forage program?
Well, I think we look at it, Karen, as options through the rainfall and how they can utilize that. On the unceded one, it's obviously it's an option. It doesn't mean producers have to take it. Where we'd probably see the unceded more than anything would probably be on the east side of the province. And Manitoba had raised theirs, and so that's why we just felt compelled to work through that and work with the farmers, especially on the east side of the province. You're right. There's going to be, some concerns on the west side of the province with lack of moisture so far this year. Hopefully, we'll see a change in that in the next few months. But I think we have a good program on that side of it. Obviously, we have, as I said in my opening comments, that program obviously is working for the livestock industry to some degree when you pay out just under $100 million over the last 2 years. We obviously saw some significant dollars going out to ranchers in predominantly in the southwest and central part of the province.
Jeff, if you could maybe follow up on that, what is the uptake on those programs? I guess, is $94 million over 2 years a sign of not enough take by some producers, maybe?
So what we've seen in the forage rainfall insurance program is that we've seen a fairly steady increase in participation. Last year, year over year, for example, I think 2021 was 3.1 million acres insured under the forage rainfall, and in 2022 that grew to 4 million acres. And we have made a number of changes over the years, Karen, on the weather-based programs to make it more responsive, and those changes were driven by industry. We work with them. Last year, for example, we changed forage rainfall to consider heat because in 2021 we had that heat dome impact, and we know that all the rain that falls isn't available for those forages to take up and convert into yield. So for every day the temperature reached over 31 degrees, we took away a millimeter of precipitation just to make that more responsive. And then I'd say the other significant change in recent years is looking at the coverage that we offer. So for this year, for example, for tame grazing, I think our highest coverage is at $121 an acre. So those would be some of the pieces there.
If I could, was that change that you made last year regarding the heat and the millimeters and that, did that work?
It did have an impact on certain stations for sure. I don't have the exact numbers of how many millimeters were taken away, but there were days where at various weather stations it reached over 31 degrees, and when it did, we took a millimeter away from the calculation. So it did work in that regard and did increase payments for stations that reached those temperatures.
Is it possible to get last year's statistics? Are those available yet?
Yeah, we should be able to get those for you, Karen. Don't have them right now, but we can follow up.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
We currently have no question coming through, so as a final reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 now. There are no further questions, so I will hand you back to your host to conclude today's conference.
Operator, are you able to pull directly Trent Richards, Brent, or Keith into the line for their comments?
Yeah, we have another one indeed. Yeah, we've got here the line of Joan Paulson calling from All Line all online newspaper. Please go ahead.
Thank you. It's Joanne Paulson from allsaskatchewan.com. Could you update me on the number of claims last year yet, and the payout, and also are you able to sort of break that out by region at all? Like, was there a much larger number coming from Southwest Saskatchewan and West Central Saskatchewan where it was drier? I mean, I'm making that assumption, but could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, you're correct in your assumption that most of the claims this year were certainly on the west central and southwest part of the province. We're still finalizing those claims for 2022, but they will be north of $1 billion for 2022, but we're still finalizing those claims. But you're right that the vast majority of claims are from west central and southwest part of the province.
Is that significantly down from the year before? It
Yes.
sounds like it's down, the claims.
Yes, it is.
The amount.
For sure, it is way down. Last year was
Way down, yeah.
Yeah, last year was 2.5 billion.
Yeah.
It's a market improvement, but we do know that there were producers on the west side of the province that suffered similar
Great.
challenges that they
And
did.
that's you, Jeff, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to know.
There are no further questions. Anyone who wishes to ask a question will have to press star 1 on your telephone keypad. I'm unable to pull out anyone from the listing. So it's star 1 now on your telephone keypad. There are no further questions. So we will now hand over to you, Tessa, to conclude today's conference.
I will just give it one more moment just to see if star 1 works to pull in our 3 other industry groups. And if not, then we will wrap up
Sure.
for the day.
At the moment, there's no participant coming up on my screen, I have to say.
Okay, then with that, we'll conclude for today. Thank you so much for attending this year's 2023 Crop Insurance Program announcement. For any further follow-up, you can email media.inquiries@scic.ca, and we'll ensure we get back to you with any details. With that, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you for joining today's call. You may now disconnect.